Juanita is 5 years older than twice her brother Myron's age. The sum of their ages is less than 35. What compound inequality would represent Myron's age? The first thing I'm going to do is set my variables. I am going to use a J for Juanita and an M for Myron. Now, when I look at that first sentence, I can see that that is an algebraic equation. So let's go ahead and take the verbal equation that's written and turn it into the algebraic equation. So Juanita is, so that means the first part is going to be J equals. 5 years older than means we are going to be adding 5 to something. Twice her brother Myron's age means that will be 2M. The second sentence says the sum of their ages is less than 35, meaning that we can go ahead and take Juanita plus Myron and add their ages together and it'll be less than 35. So we have two equations right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at that second equation, J plus M, which is less than 35. Now if you look here at this first one, we have it in the J equals form. If I come up here to the J right here in this second equation, I can go ahead and plug in this second part there. So that is what I am going to do. So instead of J, I have plugged in 5 plus 2M because that is what J is equal to. Then I can just go ahead and drop the parentheses from here. So I have 5 plus 2M plus M is less than 35. We can combine like terms, so the 2M plus M becomes 3M. From here, we would subtract 5 from both sides, and the 5s would cancel out on the left. We would end up with 3M is less than 30. From here, we would divide by 3 on each side. 3's would cancel out on the left, and we will have M is less than 10. Now from here, how are we going to write this compound inequality to represent Myron's age? My teaching assistant Chloe is here to give her latest tips and tricks. When you have a greater than or less than sign, it is called unbounded. And when you are drawing these on a number line, you will use an open circle. In interval notation, you will use parentheses. If you have a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it is called bounded. And when you are using it on a number line, you will use a closed circle. In interval notation, you will use brackets. Negative infinity and positive infinity are always unbounded, and you will always use parentheses on those. And when you divide or multiply by a negative number, the inequality sign always flips the other way. When you have two inequalities that are connected by the word and, it is called a conjunction. A conjunction is only true if and only if both of those inequalities are true, meaning the solution will be the part where they have both inequalities are covered. A disjunction is when you have two inequalities that are separated by the word or. You will see that one is going one way, one is going the other way in this example. It is only false if both of them are not true. So if it's over here, your solution's over here, it's true. Your solution is over here, it's true. It's only false if it was in the middle part right here. Now that we know what an interval notation is and how to do it, let's use this number line to help us with it. So I know Myron has to be less than 10. So when I come over here to 10, I'm going to put an open circle because this is the less than sign. Less than is unbounded, open circle. Less than 10 would be going this way. Now, you would think that that's the end of the problem, but we're talking about people's ages here. Myron cannot be 0 years old or younger. He can't be -1 years old or -2 years old. So at 0, we will have an open circle. Now, at this 0 here, why can we not have a closed circle at 0? Why can't he be 0 years old? He has to be at least 1 day old. So that's why there will be an open circle on 0 and it's going this way. So this is an example of a conjunction or an and statement. And the way we write an interval notation for a conjunction is we have to look at where both lines are crossing each other. So when we start this one, we are going to have it here is the first part is a 0 and this part down here is a 10. We're not going into the left or to the right of 0 or 10 because there's nothing going on there for both equations. So at the 10, we have a closed line here in blue, but this is an open green circle. It's not closed on both of them. Therefore, it will be parentheses or open here. At the 0, the same thing. We have an open circle here in blue and a solid line here in green. Therefore, they are not both closed. It will also be a parenthesis. Now, the other way we could have wrote this in an interval notation, we could have wrote 0, 10 and do the parentheses like this. That would have been how to write this in interval notation. But they want to know what compound inequality would represent Myron's age. It's 0 less than m less than 10. So what this means is, as long as Myron is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we will be able to figure out what Juanita's age is.